rounds. Good morning, happy Tuesday, and I guess afternoon and evening for some of you. Santi, are you hungry as usual? I feel like it's always at your different time. Did you eat yet?
Not yet. It's still early. It's 6 o'clock. We usually have dinner at 9 o'clock.
Oh, okay. Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, so I think today I'm going to start with one of my random questions because it's always fun to hear. And so, yeah, just like a general, how's everybody doing? And also, if you could have a superpower, what would it be? So I'll start. I'm doing really good. We had a super long day with Common Stack for 3 or 4 hours going through the backlog on GitHub. So I didn't even get to hardly look at TEC comms yet to organize too much, but looking forward to this meeting to align the week and the next 2 weeks, what we're focused on. My superpower, I always thought it would be so cool to be able to speak and understand every language. And I will pass to Santi.
Well, when I was a kid, I was wanting to have superpowers. One of them was flying, and but besides that, I don't think I have any special superpower in mind, except for being able to travel much more on a faster way than even taking a plane. That could be nice. And I'll pass it to Septimus.
Yeah, hello guys. Yeah, I'm doing great today. I didn't have to go to the work today, so it was a free day on the normal job. And if I have a super, like flying is a very good one. But I also would like to read minds of people, so you know what they are thinking. That could be interesting. And I'll pass it to Craig.
Oh, can you hear me? Nice. Yeah, good morning here where I am, and I'm doing well. Looking forward to catching up and working, and hate to be boring, but flying, yeah, I've always really wanted to fly, so I'm gonna run with that. And I'll pass to, let's see, Dan.
Hey, that's such a difficult one. Anyway, I guess right now I will love not to do the dishes, but that is not a superpower. Anyway, probably I will go to. I had this idea about immortality and being indestructible, but just because I cannot want to be the last human in existence and remember everybody that was before me, so I had that crazy thing in my mind. So maybe. Anyway, I'll pass to Tamara. Did you go? I missed a little bit.
No, I didn't go yet. So I'm doing great. Thanks. And I feel really good today. It's sort of the end of my day. I'm looking forward to the book club tonight. I have no conflict, so I'm going to that. And, I really, really do have a superpower that I wish I could have, and it's time travel, like just to jump ahead or to jump behind, because I think it'd be really cool to be able to experience that. And I'll pass it to Dan. Did you go? No? Oh, you passed it to me. YGG?
Yeah, thanks, Tamara. And that's funny because mine is the exact same. Always since I was a kid, there was one superpower that I've wanted, and that's full control over time. Because it unlocks so many other superpowers. Like you can freeze time and then move somewhere, so it's like super speed, right? And you can go back in time to the past and forward in time. Yeah, I think that's the best one. I'm doing really well. It's a good, busy week for me, and feeling good. So yeah, happy to be here. And I'll pass it over to Livy.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, I'm doing well. I'm feeling a bit anxious because I just finished writing the reading the chapter that we're going to discuss later and trying to organize everything at the same time. Um, but a superpower I always wanted to have is teleportation, but not only to like any place on Earth, but also like teleportation to space, other planets and stuff. And I'll pass to Chris.
I jumped in and straight into the call. All right. Yeah. Are we doing praise today, or what's besides the? All I
You can
heard
do
was the
whatever you
superhero.
want. Just a general kind of like, how are you doing today? How are you feeling?
All right.
And then superpower, yeah. But you can praise somebody if you want, always.
I'm not sure if I. Well, I mean, yeah, Zeptimus does a lot of work on the recordings and things, so I'll praise him today, just because I like to praise somebody. But yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Kind of just settling into the day, starting getting stuff going for Common Stack. So, and the superhero power that I wish I had, probably flying. I think would be, yeah. And I will pass. I'm not even sure who has gone yet, so I'll pass back to Jess to pass.
Man, I think everybody went. Oh, did somebody not go? I think Dan did Dan go? I think he was the only one.
I think Jake didn't go.
Or no, Jake.
0-0.
Jake.
Right.
I thought I was going to sneak away. Superpowers. I know, man, you guys took some of the good ones. You know, I really like, unfortunately, I really like Rick and Morty. So I think if I could be Rick and have this super intelligence, and then I think I could incorporate everything. Yeah, I'd be Rick. That would be my superpower.
Awesome. Thanks for sharing that. I've watched Rick and Morty a couple of times, but
it's a horrible show. You shouldn't watch it at all.
Yeah, it's pretty funny. It's pretty like raunchy, dark humor. Okay, awesome. Thanks everybody for sharing, and thanks for coming today. Really appreciate you being here. And yeah, as you may have noticed, there were no notes in the notes until now, because yesterday, as I mentioned, we were so crazy with Common Stack and like catching up, and I didn't have as much of a chance. So I guess today's meeting, if you can flow with me a bit here, I'm kind of just going to update on what I feel are the biggest priorities. And then I want to open up discussion and maybe get some brainstorming around a couple of these projects that are going on. So let's see. I'm just going to kind of go down the list first, and then I also wanted to get an update from Chris. Thanks for coming, because I wanted to ask you about Discord. So we'll start at the top. I'll share my screen just for the beginning. Okay, everybody can see. So last, Friday, I finished the Praise Quant and News blog, and so it's on Twitter. So if you haven't had a chance, if you can go like and retweet, and I haven't even done a proper shilling. So if anybody would like to help, we just want to shill this around. That would be great. I would super appreciate the help. And so with Twitter, I'm hoping eventually that somebody will want to help take this on in the community. We haven't really given it as much time and energy and attention as we probably want, but at least now we have Chris and Jeff and I, we sit together on Fridays and we're scheduling tweets for the week ahead. So this week we should have a lot more coming out from TEC Twitter. But if you guys ever have any ideas for retweets, like cool related articles, or if you have any ideas for what we should be sharing, I would really appreciate help on that, because generally I've been too busy to like put that much attention, except for, oh crap, we should show this call, or oh no, this blog. So we're trying to get a little more proactive on Twitter. So would super appreciate it if you guys want to drop in the comms channel any ideas or retweets. And then I am working on a content piece, hopefully before Thursday, about what projects that the TEC wants to fund and not fund. And actually, we're going to have a conversation about this in SoftGov in the next call, because I think everybody kind of has a different idea about that. So I'm taking like the stakeholder research from T Academy and looking at what people said they wanted to fund and not, and then opening up dialogue with the community about what kind of projects we want to fund. And also, we really need to increase our list of projects. So if you know projects that are working on token engineering, we want to invite them to our Thursday calls to speak, and we want to onboard them to submit proposals. So I'm trying to think what's the best way. I guess, yeah, just if you have any projects that you think of, just DM me or Livy or Santi about, we need to engage with more projects, because so far it's kind of just been the T Academy, the TE book. So we want to expand a little bit. And also we're focusing a lot of the comms right now on supporting the onboarding group. And that's kind of the main priority right now, is onboarding projects that will submit proposals once we hatch. And the other quick things we need to start to work on the front end hatch app content, but
just a quick question on that last one. Is there a place where we can like start listing projects?
There is, yeah. There is, but I don't know if that document's open. I need to check. There is an onboarding document. I'll drop a link in the comms channel, or maybe even in general, just like a call out to recruit more projects. There's a document that we're tracking like all of the contributors and the hatchers, and also the organizations and the proposers. So yes, there is a link. I will have to just double check, because it has maybe some sensitive information like emails and whatnot. So I just have to go and check if we can open that up to everybody. Let's see. Another huge thing going on, and maybe Griff, if you want to, or Jake, if you want to do a couple of minutes on the importance of hatch parameters forum posts and what's going on there.
Yeah, I mean, I can throw it in, and maybe I'll start and you can finish, Jake. The big, because I'll let you present the event on Friday.
Okay.
As far as like the importance of us actually doing something that's never been done before, which is having a community decide technical parameters. It's definitely a challenge, okay? But when we launch the DAO, you know, who picks the quorum time? Like how many, the quorum percent? Christoph left Harris, right? Who picked like you know, what the staggered line should be? You know, it's like, it was just us, the dev team. Fuck it, we decided everything. Nobody, there were hundreds of people, really cool people in the Slack. None of them had any input onto what was actually launched for the DAO. This is the case for every single project that's ever been there. The dev team just decides everything. We want to change that. We want to allow the people who are putting in like impact into SoftGov, the people who are working on conflict res, to have some input on the actual parameters. But to have input on these parameters, we actually have to understand what they are and what they do. So we're kind of creating a reference document in the forum. It's not really a document, it's just a whole bunch of forum posts, 4 main forum posts for the 4 main components of the commons. And then each of those components has all of the parameters that need to be decided. So in the forum, we're putting out this reference document, and then we need feedback from everybody on their thoughts about these different parameters and what we need to be looking at. We don't need to decide the parameters in the forum, and I think it'll be a lot easier to interact with during this next test hatch and the next rehearsal. Once you actually go and do the hatch, and then you can go to the forum and be like, yeah, you know what, I think the hatch should be a little longer. You know, and you can talk about why in the forum. So that's the idea. There's going to be probably 30 to 40 parameters total that each need a little forum post. So yeah, I'll pass it to Jake to talk more about it.
Well, and just moving along with that, because this will be a work in progress. it will be really important to continue the dialogue, and that's what we want to use the forum for. And and what's cool too is that we have replies, views, and activity recorded, but you can tell, like, this is new, so stuff's not even a month old yet. But I mean, for instance, the Hatch Tribute Deep Dive has 104 views and not 0 replies. So we've had 100 people look at it and no one responded. And I mean, that's how it goes, but we got to work on that. We whatever it is, we got to encourage people to come out. We got to encourage people to talk about these things. I have no problem being stupid. So like, like I don't have a problem trying to ask something I don't understand. I mean, we gotta encourage more of this education, and we gotta really work towards this, because this is the whole point of getting other people involved on how these things work. It is really important. Please come to the forum.
Yeah, there's a really good one, the impact hours one, that everyone here has impact hours. You might be curious about how that turns into TEC tokens. I don't know. At least for sure you have skin in the game on that one. And Sean YGG, who is in this call right now, wrote an amazing post. He even made a Python notebook showing about how the impact hours could convert into TEC tokens. It's a little complicated, but everyone here has impact hours. So that's a great one to start talking about. And then on Friday, Jake, there's a call, right?
Yeah, me and Sam.
Is this do you know what time it is?
It'll be 3 p.m. CET.
Okay. So in that call, we're going to go over all the hatch parameters. Should be fun.
Can I chime in really quick?
And sure.
I'm wondering if you guys think that, I think that we mentioned this last week. I'm wondering if you guys think that we should create an email with all the different things that everyone should be looking at and, giving feedback. Because, like all the information gets really, really fragmented. And at least for me, that I'm running a lot of stuff at the same time, it's a little bit overwhelming.
Yeah, for sure. And I'm glad you brought this up, Manu.
Sorry,
it cut
my
out.
internet was not working well.
Oh, okay.
So I was saying that if we could have, like a summary of all the things that we should be looking at. So I know, for example, that during the weekend, whenever I have time, I just go through all of them at the same time, and I don't have to, let's say, look around and be a little bit lost. I think it will help a lot to provide feedback. If we can have like a summary of all the things and send it around. That's my perspective, and I would love to hear what you guys think.
Thank you, Manu. But by the way, welcome. I didn't see you in there because I was screen sharing, and also Durga Das. Thank you guys so much for coming, and we'll set you up. So before we jump into that discussion, just to wrap on the hatch parameters discussion, for a little context, it's a lot. It's a crazy amount of information. So the idea is to first do the deep dives, and then the plan is to do kind of like a TLDR that brings it all into one post that's very easy to digest. And also just a note, in case you're not aware, we're not voting on the parameters. It's just about communicating why we care and keeping it in context. Like when you just say hatch parameters, it's kind of like, oh, sounds very boring, but actually it matters because it's like everyone's money that we're co-vesting, and this can affect that money. And a lot of us, we're doing it more as like almost like a donation. We don't have this expectation of return, but it does have a huge impact. And I think the message and the narrative is, like Griff said, communities just launch these economies without even a second thought of giving people a voice or a say in how those, parameters are chosen. So this is like very unique in DAO history to have this opportunity. So we'll be advertising the meeting on Friday for those who can attend. I think it's 6 a.m. for me, so we'll see if make it. But Manu, to your point of having a kind of newsletter email, I just signed up for a thing called Substack, which works together with Medium, and it basically is like a newsletter. And also what I could need help with, Craig, actually, is I think what we'll need to do is go into our MailChimp we have a MailChimp through Common Stack, but I think I'm going to use Substack. I just need to import our TEC list. If somebody is able to do this, in order to start to do these outbound campaigns, Manu, and I do think like email is really important. It's like that's how I get news from crypto and blockchain projects. I just need some help to import our CSV list with all of our emails from the TEC to the Substack. So can anyone volunteer to help me with that little back end task?
I have a question about that.
Okay.
So I implement systems like this for my web design clients and other people as a sort of a profession. So I do wonder about the choice of Substack. HubSpot's only $50 a month for 1,000 people. So I don't know if that, but I also don't know what the plans are around comms for the future. So HubSpot's got a pretty massive stack of communications things that you can do, not only email newsletters, plus it gives you customer relationship management and other stuff. So I'm just wondering if it's time to bring that up or if you guys have already decided that.
No, definitely it's the time to bring it up, and we can use all the help we can get. For me, I don't have so much experience with HubSpot. I've used it once or twice, but basically I would love help for if you have the capacity and bandwidth, Durgadas, to like run that for us. I kind of would need someone to say like, yes, I'm going to do this and commit for the next 3 to 6 months to setting it up and running it, and maybe training a few other folks to do that, because for me, it's more of like a bandwidth issue and not having capacity to go into another platform. But I'd rather do it right from the beginning and have it be really efficient. I just have experience with MailChimp and have like templates already. And then Jeff just told me about Substack. So I just finally signed up for it last night and I'm starting to look through what's there. But if you have experience and capacity or bandwidth and willingness to help me there, I would beyond appreciate it.
Well, of course I can do all that. It's really just a matter of, I have a decent amount of experience with both that and Active Campaign. I find that the startup thing they have for $50 a month gives you a pretty broad set of things. But my question really is just a matter of technical requirements. If all we're doing is email right now, then it may not be that we don't need a CRM at the heart of that kind of stuff. But then again, the CRM might also help us to leverage interested parties, put people through certain, it might be able to create situations where we can formalize the places where we are dealing with people and at what level.
And we actually already have HubSpot for the Common Stack and are using it actively for the CRM.
Oh, okay.
Chris actually runs that, and I'm sure that we could try to use what we have already for the TEC. Chris, I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to mention that we do have HubSpot already, but we probably aren't using it to the extent that we could be. And there are a few ways that I'm looking at adding to kind of our CRM and the info that we have there on HubSpot. So yeah, I mean it's certainly something we have the resources for right now. It's, again, as Jess mentioned, it's more just a bandwidth issue at the moment. But yeah,
I'll just put my hand up to maybe assist with that side of it. Since
awesome.
I have experience at that, then I'll hopefully be useful.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. So I'm thinking if it works, a Chris Durgadas Dan session, because Dan is also helping us with communications campaigns and community engagement on, and actually we're kind of learning together, like the Common Stack and TEC. Like for example, Chris, he's setting up a new Discord for Common Stack with like bots and slick onboarding. So why not 2 for 1? And we have resources from Common Stack that we can use and employ without, overhead. So that would be fantastic. Are you guys willing to do a session together? And it sounds like Durga is like the, HubSpot, guru, and he can it will be a learning opportunity as well. Does that sound like something you guys would be interested in?
Yeah, I can.
I'm happy to.
Yep, I can. I'll work on scheduling that with both of you.
Jess, you can loop me in as needed as well on the back end. I'd be happy to participate.
Okay, Chris, if you want to also invite Craig, and I'll try to join because I might like to learn more, but I'm not sure. I might better focus on creating some content this week. But if you guys kick it off and get started, and then Craig basically has been collecting like the back end organization as far as tracking. So he has files and spreadsheets and things. But yeah, if you guys could kick that off, and then I can maybe jump in the second one. But yeah, of course, we definitely are going to need some more kind of outbound campaigns, and we have an opportunity that we're not really using right now, and getting out news and engaging in a different platform, email, which is actually quite effective as kind of old school as it is. So yeah, fantastic. Thank you, Durgadas, again. That's huge for us to have your help and support.
Can I just ask one further question? In my work, normally the website and email sort of it's like the left and the right leg, of of comm. So if you're going to be walking forward with things, making sure those things are heading the same direction, so we don't stumble over that. So I don't know how that works here. So I just wanted to make sure I coordinate that.
Yeah, thank you for asking. I actually have a meeting this week. I can add you to our design flow channel, and Manu and Marco. Manu set up a lot of the backend stuff for the website, and Marco is just working on the design right now to improve it. And then we're going to do one more content edit before we can put it live. So I can add you to the design flow channel we have. And if you have any questions, Manu, are you cool to answer backend questions for Durgadas on the website setup?
Can you repeat the question? I hear perfectly.
Are you okay? Can you answer any website backend questions?
Oh, for sure,
Durgadas?
for sure. I'm here to
So,
help.
yeah. Awesome, thanks, Manu. And so I don't know if you would need him to join on the Hubspot stuff or anything, but yeah, Durgadas, if you have any questions about the backend for the website, you can reach out to Manu or myself, and I'll add you to our communications channel.
Okay.
Where we've been working on the website. That's a good point.
I guess one thing that is important to mention is that probably we're going to have a form for capturing emails. So maybe the person that is going to be working on Hubspot, please reach out to me, and I can also give you access to the WordPress, and like that you can put a form right there. Just reach out to me, please.
Yeah, I'll do that, because I know that they have chat bots that work both in Facebook and inside of the website. So, that's an interesting point. Yeah.
Well, yeah, it's, decentralized coordination is fun, but we've been we're a little slower on the website than we might like, but we're going to take a pretty big step this week, I think. So yeah, fantastic. That is a big chunk of what I haven't had capacity to do, is to get a little more organized around the email. So thanks again, Manu, for bringing that up. The next thing is a quick mention. We have a Gitcoin grants round coming up the first week in December. So we're having a kickoff meeting this week. Craig, while you're here, did you get that invite, and are you able to attend? Because Craig has a lot of experience and volunteered to work on it for TEC. It's tomorrow.
Yes and yes.
Awesome. So yeah.
Oh, it's today.
Isn't
it today?
Today's Wednesday? No, it's tomorrow. It's Wednesday.
Okay.
Yep, Wednesday at 9 a.m. PST. So yeah, if you're not familiar, Gitcoin grants, we did a big Panvala matching with Common Stack, which raised a lot of money for like 15 projects in our community. So that was really cool, and we have another round coming up. So we'll be putting a call out and doing a big campaign around that. And we give CStack tokens for donations. So yeah, just to mention
today. I have that call today in 2.5 hours to Gitcoin kickoff.
Yeah, same here.
Oh, weird. Did they schedule it twice? It is today at noon. What is this other call? Oh, sorry. That was what's shillin' and chillin'. I have some other call here. Maybe it's a Panvala call.
Oh, that's
tomorrow.
actually a Gitcoin community call.
Wow, that's weird. I don't know how that got on my calendar. So sorry. Okay, today it's at noon, the Gitcoin kickoff work session. Craig, are you good for noon today? Maybe we lost him. Okay, I'll get with him later. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that that's something we'll be communicating about in the coming weeks.
Can you just give a bit more background? So is that meeting like you're writing a grant for this sort of open Gitcoin proposal, or what is it, or is it with the Gitcoin Foundation or something like that?
It's the Common Stack and TEC coming together because we have all these templates because we've done it many times before. So today we're just going to come together, look at what templates we have, and how we're going to run the conviction voting again. So everybody with C-Stack tokens was able to vote to rank projects. So we had like 25 projects in our community submit for funding, and then the Common Stack C-Stack token holders voted and ranked them. And then we allocated the money that we got from the Gitcoin grants, which is matched. And even we have Panvala, which did Griff, like 30x matching on all the money that was donated. And we ended up raising like $80,000, and we're able to give out money to 15 different projects in our community. So we're just going to be organizing around this. So yeah, Sean, I'd say if you want to attend to get some experience with Gitcoin grants, you're more than welcome. But if you have limited time, there's definitely other areas that could need attention because we have, I think, like 5 people working on it already. So we're quite well supported.
Yeah, I would love to join that just to learn for an educational experience. So how do I join? Because I don't see it in the Token Engineering Commons calendar.
I'll just send you an invite.
Well, are we going to do it in Discord?
Yeah, we could open it up. I just had the Google Meet there, but yeah, do you want to do it in Discord general channel in case anybody sees and wants to listen in? But it's a quite focused work session, but for sure, like if people want to learn more about Gitcoin grants and also how we're running these campaigns, it is useful for projects who could be seeking funding and just to spread the knowledge.
When is this happening again, Jess?
In 2.5 hours
Today?
from now. Yeah, today, 2.5 hours from now, we'll meet on the general voice channel.
Merci.
Absolutely. Okay, there's a lot going on here. All right, next item on the list is, let's see. Yeah, I guess Chris, I just wanted to give you a chance to share. Chris has been amazing and making huge progress with Discord. Would you just give us a quick update, and maybe I just kind of want to establish a bit of a timeline on how and when we want to roll out the Discord. We were thinking aligning it with the Hatch, but how are you going on the Discord development?
Yeah, it's going pretty well. I've basically been kind of setting up the channel and category flow, somewhat similar to TE here, as well as kind of just based on the Common Stack, different groups that are active there. I've been using bots to automate the onboarding flow that should both make it easier for people to enter the server and kind of orient themselves to the ideas and how they can help, what we're doing and that kind of thing, as well as give us some information about each person that I'm hoping to link into our CRM. So things like what language they speak, whether they're a developer or a writer or a philosopher or things like that. And the other things that I'm looking to implement before we really open it up is a verification bot. So that's one thing that we also, I know it was mentioned yesterday that we were getting some spam bot joining, and I have seen that issue in a few of my other servers as well. So it's something that I'm quite interested in finding an actual bot that will kind of verify and kick anyone that any of the bots. So if anyone has any great Discord tools for screening joined members, that would be much appreciated. But
I actually posted a whole bunch of links exactly to that end.
yeah, I explored those, and I've been looking at others. I think you mentioned Dino, or maybe that was in the Reddit post that you mentioned. But yeah, there are quite a number of bots. A lot of them basically are to assign a role, which you can make it permissioned, so that like all of your channels are permissioned, and then basically once you verify, it assigns that role to access things. But what I would actually prefer, because a lot of these are like they're joining a server, and then basically sending messages, DMs to everyone in the server, or to a large number of people with like, yeah, kind of the scam type message that we saw before. So really what I'd like to do is have a bot that has like some sort of a CAPTCHA or a math problem or something like that. And if they incorrectly solve it, it just kicks them from the server rather than just leaving them to kind of have a manual intervention. So that's my end goal for both Common Stack, TEC, and I would hope to implement that same bot in the TE server here. So
if you're interested, I did ask the guy who runs my Star Wars Old Republic Discord server, which is basically perfect as far as like the way to architect it security wise. And he said, well, that's quite the discussion, but we could talk about it separately. So if you'd like to, connect with him maybe on a thing, I'll see if he's willing to talk us through what he did for that, if he'd prefer.
Yeah, that would be awesome. If you wouldn't mind tossing the links in our message there to that chat or that server, and maybe yeah, the admin there, that would be awesome. As for timeline though, we certainly could align it with the hatch for both the TEC and the Common Stack. We could also probably open them earlier, if depending on when we want, and we could hold them back to have the launch coincide with them. It kind of depends what we want to, how we want to launch both of those. If we'd like kind of, it might make sense to launch them a little bit before the hatch, just so that we can have some of the resources and things in place for new people that are joining, kind of looking for more information on the hatch, rather than launching them at the same time. But open to discussion on that. I can work towards whatever timeline we need to on this. Really, we've got a little bit of time before the hatch. So if that's the key point that we want to aim towards, yeah, happy to make that the priority.
Okay, all fantastic. Thanks for that. And yeah, one more mention with the Discord server. I don't know if you have capacity, but this whole boosting thing, I thought it was done. And then we discovered during praise giving that it was still having a limit. And I'm going to check back with Tanner, who was the one who boosted it for us, to see if he can look into it as well. But that's going to be one issue that's going to come up as we grow, is having larger capacity for community calls. And we could also ask OneHive, because I think they also have some experience with this. So maybe Barada. But yeah, I'm going to send a message to Tanner. Maybe I can connect you guys. But yeah, I kind of feel like maybe we could use a little mini work session on the Discord, because you mentioned categories and channels. And this is really important, actually, like thinking about the kind of narrative or symbology that I've mentioned before, like OneHive is, gardens and bees and whatever, the different kind of symbols and memes for the different working groups. So maybe we can set up a little work session to break out and also talk about timeline with Chris. And then if anybody else wants to join, maybe Santi as well, because Santi, you guys are working on the Sourcecred implementation and might want to start playing with the Discord server.
Yeah, that would make sense. I think we can, yeah, I think we should be able to make a working session for that as well.
Okay, cool. Santi, do you want to join as well? And you'll be needing to test the Sourcecred?
Yes, that's great.
Okay.
And Santi, if
let's-
you have Sourcecred stuff that you want to implement and test before we open it up, that's also something we can do.
That's actually the idea. The idea, we already have implemented Sourcecred. What we were discussing with Mateo, and I also updated Sean today because he's joining us on this task. The idea is to forget about GitHub, and we were thinking on focusing only on Discord and the forum, and test it several weeks before deciding, voting on the community if we want to implement it or not. But check the results several weeks as people start, posting and voting, and we grab that information. We tweak a little bit the parameters, and we analyze the data. And once we feel it's reflecting what we want, we're ready to go. The only thing that we might need to do is onboard everyone manually. Right now, it gets the information directly from Discord and from the forum. If someone jumps in and it's not even someone from the community and it starts liking, posts that someone else has done, it will get cred. So we don't want that to happen. And what we're going to do is run through a process of requesting everyone for their forum account and, of course, their Discord. Since we do it in Discord, we will need that. And, of course, their Ethereum account, where they want eventually to get the rewards whenever we start giving away them.
Yeah. All things that we can implement in a few ways here. And yeah, happy to have a work session with you, Santi, on this.
Great. Let's try to schedule one.
Perfect.
Okay, and anybody else interested to join? And we could host it on the Discord comms channel so that if people want to jump in. So should we say is Friday good for you guys, and any particular time? Santi, you're in Europe, so is there? It's Friday as well. So what would be a good time for you?
I have the little working group on Friday, 4 p.m. European time.
Could you do like 6?
Yeah, 6 is fine. I think from 5 to 6 is the lab, right?
Oh yeah, are we having the lab this Friday, Livy and Sean?
Yep.
And what time is that?
I thought
that was at. I thought 5. Yeah, that's.
I think it's 5 to 6. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Perfect. So yeah, if I'll put it in the calendar. This is Discord work session. And yeah, we don't need much. I just want to talk a little bit about how we want to lay out the organization. And Chris, do you have a document?
I don't really. I mean, I do have a very rough document, but I'll put one together and share it in the calendar details after.
Okay, all good. And Santi, what's your email? I have it somewhere, but
Do you need it?
yeah, I can't find it that handy. I'm looking.
I'll just drop it to you on Telegram.
Okay, cool. I'll send you an invite. But yeah, anybody is welcome to join, and I'll send a reminder out. And Durgadas, were you interested to listen in, or?
Sure. Might, depending on my regular job. Like I'm currently just doing my regular job now and just listening
Okay,
on this
then no
thing.
worries.
So like, so
no
depending
worries.
on how that
No
goes,
worries.
I may or may not be able to make it.
Yeah. Okay. Better focus on the HubSpot then. I was just open invite to anybody who wants to join. We're just going to be looking at the organization of Discord. It's not that interesting. Okay.
No, that's
awesome. So Chris and yes. Awesome. So Chris, Durgadas, and Dan will handle the HubSpot call, and then we'll have this little work session with Crispy and Santi for, let's see, we said 9 a.m. Okay. All right. And the last topic that I had was the other big thing, and where I wanted to hear a little bit of feedback for our couple of minutes is I want to start the draft of the script or what we want the onboarding video to look like. So inside of the app, I'll just share my screen really quickly. So inside of the app that looks like this, once it loads, we, on the front end of the Hatch app, there's a place for a video. And we had also discussed some weeks ago that it would be really nice and engaging to have an onboarding video welcoming people to the community. But this is the main one that we need to have. But we also discussed having one for like an onboarding with maybe different community members being like, hello, hello, hello. And then having a little introduction to why we're here, what we're doing. And then for this video with the Hatch, it's going to be a little deeper maybe on what they're supposed to do when they reach here. For me, this is exciting because I've invested and been a part of many communities, and I have never seen one of them having like a welcome video. So I think this is really cool and unique opportunity. So I just wanted to open up the floor to what you think would be important or any ideas for this onboarding video. Like if you were brand new, you had no idea about the TEC and you came and there was a video, what length would you like it to be? What kind of elements do you think we need just to get the creative juices flowing? Because I'm going to start drafting that this week.
So as somebody who continues to struggle with missing platforms that everyone on this thing wants to tell me about, I've literally got a month's worth of experience total at cryptocurrency. So I literally know nothing. So every single time somebody's like, oh, what's your Ethereum address? I'm like, oh, well, let me go get one. And then I crazily spend 2 hours trying to figure out how to do that. And then there are some instructions that we have on certain aspects of, like when I tried to sign up on the Commons, it's like, well, make sure the thing that you're using is good with, DApp related things. I'm like, well, how would I know what's good for what kind of address would work well in a DF, because I barely know what that is. Do you know what I mean? So so I bring something else maybe to the table than the pure technical experience and knowledge of cryptocurrency, I think. But I think we're trying to encourage people like myself who might bring different stuff into the picture than just pure, engineering experience.
I actually resonate a lot with what Drukada says. If we intend to get people involved and putting their money, who's not too much into crypto, we have to think on them. Sometimes we are so deep into the project that we forget the newcomers. The newcomers are lost. Now it's hard to follow up for someone who jumps in, and the latest they jump in, the tougher it is, because there's a lot more going on than the very beginning. At the very beginning, so I really think that his point, it's really important, especially on that video, which is the key communication thing that everyone's gonna be able to play and see if they land to that page, which is the page we're going to be using for investors.
Yeah, I just there seems to be a lot of UX issues with crypto in general, and frankly, as a website designer and graphic designer, it's fairly appalling to me. Took me 4 days to get any cryptocurrency at all because banks in Canada basically prevent you from doing that. So, I had to find a workaround, and that workaround was Newton. But, without any experience at that, I wouldn't have known. And we're all over the world. So different regulatory frameworks are in different places. So we may want to have something for international people who aren't in the US, something that's, for, or maybe group like where the regulatory frameworks in these countries are relatively easy, and then the ones that are worse, and then the ones that are impossible. That kind of thing. We might want a different onboarding video for different places. But yeah, short and sweet is good, but the cryptocurrency space, as far as getting into it, is enormously complicated. So we may want to just do a thing like I do every time, where I do a who what matrix. What is it that I'm trying to say on the left side of my Excel spreadsheet? Who is it that I think that I'm talking to in my target market along the top? And then you can break the videos out according to those sets of people that you're trying to target.
Yeah, I think that's a great point to but narrow our scope and understand who is this videos to. And I think a great at Genesis, we tried to do some onboarding videos, and the most successful one that I think it helped the most people was how to make your first proposal. And I feel like that narrows a lot the scope of oh, you're coming in here, what is the first action you can take? And then if it is to make a first proposal, then what precedes that is a little bit of what types of proposals are we looking into? And then maybe there is another point that is you're being onboarded into the working groups, and then there is XYZ working groups happening, and what are the prerequisites, or what do you need to join them? And then just finding a few actions and what people need to accomplish those actions might be a good start.
I really like what Livia said. I think maybe I would also add to that. I don't know if it makes sense for the onboarding or for the welcoming. I think maybe for the welcoming, why this exists. What is important about the TEC, why it's important, why we all spent this time and effort to build it. It's also sort of nice, just if it's the first touch point of anybody who comes to the TEC, knowing what it is and why we built it.
I would sure still like to know that. Because
it took me a while to discover it also.
Well, every time I go into a thing, like I did the annual report for Couch and Tribes 2 years in a row, and it's always a narrative arc, right? And you have to have a narrative arc, and it feels to me like the entire onboarding process should be a narrative arc, and whoever it is that we're connecting with, they need to be able to find themselves right there on the homepage, and then again in all of the different tools that they're encountering. So I've been quite slow and gradually in putting myself into these groups, just because I've been a little uncertain as to how is it that I'm supposed to move around in them, and if I have any value in a given space. And so it might be helpful if we had a bit of a narrative arc to assist people through that process.
Thanks for your reflections, and you definitely have value wherever you are. But yes, we sorely need to fix our onboarding, which we're working on from many angles. So super appreciate the feedback. Does anybody else have some thoughts? This is so helpful because, I think we have one video that's specifically for the Hatch app. We don't want to take people away from that. We want to keep them there. So Livy, what you said about having it very focused of hello, welcome, here's our mission, why you're here, and here's how you interact with this screen right here. And then I think actually it's a series of videos, because we're building onboarding in the forum. Eduardo and I are working on a kind of quest, and then we'll have a better system for the Discord, but videos are always really engaging. So just to hear this feedback, does anybody else have any thoughts around elements that are really important that we include in any onboarding videos, whether for the Hatch app or welcome or how to do specific tasks? Or
Yeah, I have one comment on what Durgadas mentioned earlier about how hard it is to get into the crypto world. He mentioned that it took him 4 days to buy crypto, but I think we can highlight a point with what we're doing here. This is an alternative to simply gaining access to like an on-ramp or a crypto exchange and buying crypto. This is an opportunity to actually work for crypto. You know, you can come into this. It takes there's no barriers to access to like install MetaMask and get an Ethereum account, and then you can participate in these working groups and you can earn impact hours and you can do these kinds of things to populate your wallet without ever needing to go to any like exchange or sign up for any service. So this is kind of an alternative. It's like working your way into the crypto economy rather than buying your way in. So that could be a point that's highlighted. And then the other thing I wanted to say was just kind of what Livy was talking about, but offering the very tangible way that people can get involved, like inspiring people and kind of revealing to them of like showing to them in this video a very clear, simple case of what you can do now and what that looks like and how to do it, so people can see whether maybe it's writing a proposal. People can see that, get inspired, and take those first steps.
Hi, excuse me. I think the whole angle of the work in crypto is gigantic, because as someone who's really, you know, had to buy in for years, crypto can really easily, you know, hurt you. You can really like walk away from hating crypto. Most people do. Like a lot of people go through exchanges, they get took, they get played, Twitter burns them, and they start hating crypto really easy. And they have no idea how it works. They don't know anything about the capabilities and all of the broad spectrum that crypto can actually deliver. They know nothing about. And because they lose money, they're gone. So the whole work thing, like that's a giant angle. Like that's something that attracts me personally, because I really want to be a part of crypto, you know? So I would definitely roll with that too. The whole offering so much more is way more beneficial.
Cool. Thanks, Jake, for that reflection. And yeah, we're top of the hour now. So we're going to jump to the SoftGov call now if you want to join. But thank you so much. I know it's still like we have so many things going on, but it's kind of nice to have this organic flow. And Durgadas, I super appreciate you stepping in and up to help us with your experience with HubSpot, and Manu for a lot of your reflections, and everybody, Sean and Chris working really hard, and Santi on Discord, and all these different things happening. So reach out to me if you want to work on anything in particular, if something wasn't clear, if you had any more thoughts we didn't have time for in this meeting. And thank you so much. And we'll see you in SoftGov and get a little more organized this week and have these work sessions and meet again next week at the same time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Jess.